step into the time machine as we embark on a journey to the swinging 60s, an era of cultural revolution, political upheaval, and truly iconic fashion. From the glossy sheen of Madison Avenue to the turbulent streets of the South, these TV shows transport us back to this pivotal decade that defined a generation. So get ready to relive the past with a modern twist as we count down the best TV shows set in the iconic 60s. A quick disclaimer before we start: keep in mind that in this countdown we're featuring only scripted shows, and that these series are listed in no particular order. With that out of the way, this is TV Show Pilot, and here are our top 10 modern-day TV shows set in the 1960s. Mad Men.
Let me tell you something, Miss Gutman.
Doctor.
Dr. Gutman. Psychology might be great at cocktail parties, but it so happens that people were buying cigarettes before Freud was born. The issue here isn't why should people smoke, it's why should people smoke Lucky Strike.
We'll start off this list with probably one of the most well-known 60s set TV shows, Mad Men. Mostly taking place in a fictional advertising agency located in Manhattan, New York, the show revolves around the enigmatic Don Draper, a talented ad executive navigating the cutthroat world of Madison Avenue. We follow his personal as well as his professional life as he struggles to stay on top of the advertising game, all while grappling with personal demons and societal expectations in the rapidly changing era. Godfather of Harlem.
How should Negroes respond to police brutality?
Nonviolence demands that the means we use must be as peaceful as the ends we seek.
Negroes want our rights.
Minister Malcolm.
Yeah, I got my rights right here.
Speaking of TV shows set in the 60s New York City, next we have Epix's Godfather of Harlem. Intended as a prequel to the 2007 film American Gangster, this show follows the story of the infamous Harlem crime boss Bumpy Johnson. Set against the backdrop of societal upheaval, the series delves into Johnson's attempts to reclaim control of Harlem after his decade-long prison sentence, which means going up against the Italian mob and finding himself an ally in the controversial civil rights activist Malcolm X. The Right Stuff.
It's a real nice shot of you.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I think anybody would look good standing next to a beast like that. Have yourself a good day. Say hello to that little lady of yours.
Okay, keep smiling.
I couldn't stop if I tried.
The 60s were known for a lot of things, one of the bigger ones being the space race. So it's only natural that in this countdown we're mentioning not one but two astronaut-related shows. The first one being Disney Plus's The Right Stuff. Based on Tom Wolfe's book of the same name, this series offers a captivating look at the early years of the U.S. space program and the 7 original Mercury astronauts. Set against the backdrop of the Cold War, the show explores the personal and professional sacrifices made by these astronauts and their families as they embark on historic missions to space. The Astronaut Wives Club.
I got it.
You're going to be an astronaut.
But the Mercury 7 weren't the only ones thrust into the limelight when they set out to become America's first astronauts. Their families suffered the consequences too, and that's what this ABC series is about. Based on Lily Capel's book of the same name, the Astronaut Wives Club highlights the untold stories of the women behind the astronauts of the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo space programs. Told from the perspective of the astronauts' wives, the series details how these remarkable women fought to keep their personal lives out of the public eye and turned to each other for comfort as their husbands embarked on dangerous missions. Pan Am.
Got it. I'm sorry. I thought you trained for this. Okay, I just started. This is hard. Hard for you, Laura? Nothing is hard for you. You're perfect. What do you think? Just get out of my way. I do not need a lost puppy.
While the 60s witnessed the space race, it was during this time that the lesser-known jet age was happening as well, which was a period in history that saw the rise of aircrafts powered by turbine engines, which, in turn, gave way for a boom in the aviation industry. And ABC's Pan Am plays out in this setting. The show centers on the iconic Pan American World Airways and the lives of a group of young airline pilots and flight attendants, beautifully capturing the allure of air travel during a time when flying was synonymous with luxury and adventure. Good Girls Revolt.
We do not change our modus operandi for one person. Now, clearly you are very talented.
Clearly. I don't belong here. This is ridiculous. I quit.
Well, your name is all you have in journalism. So, good luck, Nora Ephron.
Towards the end of the decade came a significant increase in women calling for equality, especially within the workforce. And Good Girls Revolt captures one such fight. Based on Lynn Povich's novel of the same name, the show follows the women at the fictional News of the Week magazine. Frustrated by the limitations imposed on them by a male-dominated workplace, they fight not just for equal pay, but also for being properly credited in the publication, since they were the ones who researched the majority of stories and even wrote some of the more poignant pieces. Masters of Sex.
I was trying to make him feel comfortable. He was sitting there with an erection.
Which is why we need to implement a system that ensures this kind of transference doesn't occur.
It didn't occur.
Although the 1960s were still very conservative, it was this decade that a dialogue about sexuality and human response to pleasure was slowly emerging, and this Showtime drama chronicles exactly that. It delves into the fascinating work of Dr. William Masters and Virginia Johnson, two researchers from Washington University who pioneered the research and discussion into the nature of the human sexual response. As they traverse the complexities of their own personal lives, the series delves into the ethical, social, and personal challenges posed by their work. American Dreams.
You have to be nice to me. Excuse me? At school? I know you don't like me, but can't you just pretend for a few days? You can be as mean as you want at home, but at school, can't you just show me where my first class is?
The evolving music scene was yet another huge milestone of the 60s, and this NBC drama puts that right at the forefront. The series follows the Pryor family from Philadelphia as they navigate the transformative years of the 60s. During the show's 3 seasons, we witness everything from the eldest Pryor child joining the Marine Corps and fighting in the Vietnam War to the family's matriarch re-entering the job market. But in particular, we focus on the Pryor's youngest daughter, Meg, as she becomes a dancer on the popular music and dance TV program, American Bandstand. The Wonder Years.
What came out surprised me as much as it did them.
I feel different everywhere I go, no matter who I'm around. And then it'll always be different.
Another TV series that perfectly captures the essence of the era through the lens of a nation in flux is ABC's recent reboot of The Wonder Years. Inspired by the 1988 series of the same name, The Wonder Years switches gears from the original series and details the life of the Williams family, a middle-class black family residing in Montgomery, Alabama. Told mainly from the perspective of the Williams' youngest son, Dean, this series explores the challenges and joys of growing up in the late 1960s. Public morals.
Identification on him, so I figured you'd want to ID him yourself.
Yeah, that's him, all right.
You got any ideas?
Have you ever been to New York City? Yeah, I got a few.
And last but definitely not least, we have TNT's gritty crime drama, Public Morals. It centers around the Public Morals Division of the NYPD and explores the intricate relationship between law enforcement and organized crime in Hell's Kitchen. More specifically, we focus on NYPD officers Terry Muldoon and Charlie Bullman, who have to face the challenge of maintaining order in their own neighborhood, where the line between cops and criminals is often blurred and the corruption rate is sky high. Do you agree with our picks for the top 10 TV shows set in the 60s? Let us know in the comments. Check out TVShowPilot.com for the full list of the best 60s set TV shows, and don't forget to subscribe to the TV Show Pilot YouTube channel for more videos like this.